We all ask ourselves, what is the term called computer? Now we can say a computer is an electronic device for storing and processing data, typically in a binary form, according to instructions given to a variable program. That is, when a computer performs an instruction which you direct it to, a computer cannot operate on its own. It's until you give the computer an instruction to act on before the computer will do what you ask it to do. Telling a computer to input a value, there will not be an addition or subtraction out of the value. Exact amount of the value that you give in the computer to input will be what will be. History of computer. This chapter is a brief summary of the history of computers. It is supplemented by the two PBS documentaries videotapes, Inventing the Future and the Paperback Computer. The chapter highlights some of the advances to look for. In particular, when viewing the PowerPoint material, you should look for two things in this material: the progression in hardware representation of bit of data, the progression of the ease of use of computer. It is almost impossible to use except by very patient geniuses in the 1950s, programmable by highly trained people only in the 1960s and 1970s. Also, it is usable by just about anyone in 1980s and so on. To see how computer was got smaller and cheaper and easier to use, move on to the next slide. The first substantial computer was the giant ENIAC machine by John W. Muchley and J. Vesper Eckert at the University of Pennsylvania. They created a computer with 18,000 vacuum tubes. This computer has a little amount of efficiency with a very big occupying space of mass. The storage of these vacuum tubes and the machinery required to keep the code took up over 167 square meters, that is 1,800 square feet of floor space. Not less, it had punch card input and output arithmetic, add one multiplier, that is, it can only do little amount of calculations compared to the modern. Now we move on to the progression of hardware. In the 1950s, two devices would be invented that would improve the computer field and set in motion the beginning of the computer revolution. The first of these two devices were the transistor, invented in 1947 by William Shockley, John Barden, Walter Brecken, and so on. The history of computers goes on very, but we are moving on to, in the 1958, this problem was to solve by Jack St. Clair Kilby of Texas Instruments. He manufactured the first integrated circuit of chip. A chip is a really cool collection of tiny transistors which are connected together when the transistor is manufactured. Thus, the need for soldering together large numbers of transistors was particularly nullified. That is, the need of making bigger space of chip, soldering together of panels of computer in a big, occupying a large space has been nullified with this event of chip by St. Clair. Now you can see from the movement of 1981 when the computer looks more like a mini microwave to what it looks like a typewriter to what it looks like a main 1990 computer set to the chipset. Now we are in the Pentium chip of the 1993, as you can see with the diagram. Now move on to the mainframes to PC. Mainframe to PC is the 1960s saw large mainframe computers become much more common in large industries, with which the US military and space program use mostly. Because the US military are one of the most elite of computer in the early days. They were the one that make use of the computer for communication, for checking of their other military apparatus in the war and so on. In the programs and data could be stored on everyday audio cassette recorders. Before the end of the year, Wozniak and Jobs have secured 3 orders for the Apple II, and from there Apple just also introduced in 1977 was the TRS-80. This was a home computer manufactured by Tandy Radio Shack. It is the second incarnation. The TRS-80 Model 2 came complete with a 64-character memory card and a disk driver to store programs and data on it. At this time, only Apple and TRS had machines with disk drive. Others were using personal computer application took off as a floppy disk was the most convenient population medium of. Now, move on to the types of computer. Types of computer. we have the digital computer, analog computer, and hybrid computer, which are the main three classes of computer. Then the digital computer was subdivided as advent of computer comes on, was subdivided into four main types, which is the microcomputer, mainframe computer, the supercomputer, and the mini computer. Then the microcomputer is the now subdivided into two again, which is the home and the PC, which is common nowadays. Yeah, everybody has his own PC at home that he use, and the home computer like the desktop computer. Now, digital computer. Digital computer is the most commonly used type of computer I said before, and is used to process information with quantities using digits, usually using the binary number system, the 011100 binary format. And now we move on to the analog computer. Analog computer is a computer that operates with numbers represented by directly measurable quantities. Hybrid computer also. Hybrid computer is a computing system that combines both digital and analog components in a way that makes that the function of a digital computer and the function of an analog computer is being combined in hybrid computer. That is, you have the function, you have the properties of a digital computer and an analog computer in hybrid computer. So we move on to digital computer types. A microcomputer is an electronic device with a microprocessor as the central processing unit. That is, a microcomputer has an electronic device which has a microprocessor as its CPU. Then we see the mainframe, which is also called the big iron, as we all know, are powerful computers used for large information processing jobs. In a large industry where you need a bigger computer that can process data more faster, a mainframe computer is the kind of computer that is being used. Then we have the supercomputer. It's a computer that performs at the near the current highest operational rate for computers. The most highest rate at which a computer can operate is what a supercomputer will carry. We move on to what we call the mini computer. A mini computer fills the space between the mainframe and the microcomputer. A mini computer is between the mainframe and the microcomputer, and it's smaller than the former but larger than the latter. If you understand what I mean, it's smaller than the mainframe and is larger than the microcomputer. So a mini computer are mainly used as small or mid-range servers operating business and scientific applications like our schools, research programs, field software developers, this kind of mostly. Now we move on to a home computer. Home computer is a computer intended for use in the home. Personal computer, PC. The definition of a personal computer is a small computer with a microprocessor designed for use by an individual. An example of a personal computer are desktop computers are used in homes. Point of correction: we should take notes of the personal computer, the home computer, the mini computer, and the microcomputer. There are a lot of differences between them. Now we move on to the part of computer. Part of computer, we have although it said in the material that although a computer generally consists of several different parts, each with its own specific set of tasks to perform an operation, a desktop computer can be broken down into three main parts. Now we have more than just three parts, but it can be broken down and subdivided into three main parts, which are the monitor, the system unit, and the keyboard, all of which are essential to any functional. Now we move on. Part of computer, we have the system unit, we have the monitor, we have the keyboard, we have the mouse, and other important parts of all of them. Now the system unit, as you can see with the image, the system unit, also known as a tower or chassis, is the main part of a computer. It includes the motherboard, CPU, RAM, and other components. You can see this image above that a desktop computer consists of mainly the monitor, the keyboard, and these objects, which is called the CPU, which is called the system unit. The system unit is where the main computer is being powered off, where it consists of the main CPU, the RAM, and the main brain of the. Now we move on to the monitor. What is a monitor? A monitor is an electronic device that shows pictures for computers, just like your TV screen at home. A monitor will portray the input data that you inputted, that you are expecting an outcome from the computer. A monitor will give you the visual experience of it. So a monitor, the main difference between a monitor and a television is just that a monitor does not have a television tuner to change channels. Monitors have higher display resolution than television. Now we move on to the keyboard. A keyboard is said to be an input device that allows the person to enter letters, numbers, and other symbols or characters or values in a keyboard into the computer. Now you can see the image. Move on to the mouse. What is a mouse? A mouse, the plural, called mice, is an input device that is mostly often used with a personal computer. Moving a mouse along a flat surface can move on the screen cursor to different items on the screen. Now you can see when using a computer, you can see the arrow key that moves around like the pointer to select things. The mouse serves as the controller to this pointer that moves around to select these stuffs. You can see with the two buttons to click and right click, we call it the left. Now that's the end of today's lesson. Thank you for listening, and be sure to submit your assignments for the next class. Thank you, class. See you. Bye.